edition of the Jaeger FC Community Podcast. Gabe Farias with a couple of very special guests here from the Madonna Center. We've got Elizabeth Ruiz, one of the board members, and the longtime Chief Executive Officer of the Madonna Center, Roger Caballero. Guys, thank you so very much for taking the time to join our podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Man, that's wonderful.
Sure. I mean, whenever we can shine a light on the Madonna Center and all of the activities and services that we provide, it's wonderful. So thank you, Gabe. Thank you.
You bet, absolutely. And Roger, I'm going to start with you. 85 years of making a difference in this area. And I've always said it's unfair to say that you're making a difference in the west side of San Antonio, because my knowing of the Madonna Center that goes back to the West Chamber, you guys are making a region-wide difference. Talk about the significance of this organization and how it pertains to the community.
It really has been a change agent in the community for a very long time. I mean, in fact, I had someone refer to us as like a beacon of light for the residents of the West Side. Like you say, it's been here a long time. It was founded in 1939.
Yes, sir.
By the Sisters of Divine Providence, same order of sisters who started at Lady of the Lake. And we are continuing the relationship with them, actually, up until the mid-1980s. The executive director had always been one of the sisters. And currently, we have one of the sisters sitting on our board of directors as well. So the relationship with the sisters continue. The mission of the agency really has not changed. It's basically to help those low-income families access resources, and provide them with an education, basically help them to move to self-sufficiency.
Liz, you've been a member of the media for a while, and you look so young, so I'm not going to say for a long time.
Well, before we go any further, we are celebrating the 85th anniversary.
Absolutely.
But I want to clarify that Roger and I were not here when it started.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Clarity. You guys both look younger than me. What are you talking about? Liz, you've been in the media for a while. You're a mainstay in San Antonio, and you've seen a lot of nonprofits through your eyes, both out in the community and behind the lens of and in your case, the microphone or the radio. Talk about this particular nonprofit, because there are substantive nonprofits and there are just what I just call flat out difference makers. Talk about your experience with Madonna Center.
Well, I have worked with a lot of nonprofits. I help them however I can, and most of the time it's emceeing their events.
Sure.
But with the Madonna Center, this was very special to me. When one of the board members, Dr. Laura, came up to me at an event and she said, I want to talk to you about the Madonna Center. And I said, the Madonna Center? I know about the Madonna Center because I learned to sew there when I was a little girl.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to school at Las Palmas Elementary in the Edgewood District, for my whole time in public schools. Las Palmas Elementary, then Edgewood Junior High, and then Kennedy High School. And so this is in the vicinity. And the Madonna Center always offered activities for people, and they tried to keep us busy.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I learned to sew. Las monjitas, the sisters taught me how to make 2 dresses, and I wore them proudly. I wore them to school. So it's always been very special to me.
I just think the west side of San Antonio is so full of heritage, but the word that to me comes to mind is pride. And Roger, talk about the pride of the west side and how organizations like this make substantive change in this community.
Definitely. I mean, one of the things that we do is work with communities so that they can be proud of living and working here in the West Side. And again, the services we offer, are always provided with a sense of pride, orgullo, for the services. We respect all our families, all our seniors. So we offer those services, again, with that in mind, that they should feel proud, and they are proud of living and working here in the west side of San Antonio.
And speaking of pride, we've got the gala coming up, and you're honoring 2 families that, again, are difference maker families, not only in the west side of San Antonio, but just throughout the region, the Gomez family and the Hernandez family. We're going to start with the Gomez family, and what I'm going to start with is Mrs. Gomez, because she's really, everyone sees Joe's face on the billboard everywhere, but she's the backbone of that family. It's a wonderful family that's giving back. Talk about the Gomez family.
Well, Mrs. Gomez, Carmen, had taught at in the Edgewood School District. And then she taught in the Northside School District. So we applaud her for that.
Sure.
You know, we've got to boost our teachers out there however we can. But she has also helped so many nonprofits.
Yes.
And we're so glad that she's helping the Madonna Center. But she also served on the St. Anthony School Board.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's just been involved in so many wonderful projects here in our community. And we just thought we would honor her for everything that she's done. And of course, with her husband,
Absolutely.
Joe Gomez. Now
Yes, sir.
she's concentrating on the law firm.
Yeah.
And she's helping manage the office because they've grown so much. And they even moved to a new location recently.
Yeah.
But we're so glad that Gomez Law fights, Gomez Law cares,
Sure.
and now they're helping the Madonna Center.
Yeah, and Roger, Mr. Gomez, Joe, starting with his time in the Texas legislature, this is a guy that has been rooted in community.
Exactly. I mean, you know, he has always helped community, and he always has talked to and about supporting and never forgetting where he came from.
Sure.
That's right.
You know,
Because,
so
yeah, he grew up in the West Side. He went to Lanier High School, and he was the salutatorian and the student council. And even with that, you would think that they would be encouraging him to go
Sure.
to college. No, they were steering him toward a vocational, a vocational career. If you can imagine that, he was an outstanding student. But you know, as you mentioned, he went on to become a state representative.
Yes.
And now he just wants to help people, and that's why he's in law.
Sure. The Hernandez family. I mean, you talk about a family that's made a difference. I can't think of a family who's made a bigger healthcare difference in greater San Antonio. Talk about the Hernandez family and their significance, starting with George and what he did over at the university.
yeah, the Hernandez family, again, like you say, have supported, you know, so many in the community through their work in the health system.
Sure.
You know, providing services, health services to those that cannot afford. So we were very glad and honored that they allowed us to recognize them this way. You know, and again, doing it as a couple, right? Because there's always, it's always a family affair of sorts. You know, whenever there's the spouse that is involved, whether it be the wife or the husband, you know, the other supporting them. So we are glad that, again, they asked that we support. I mean, that we recognize them.
Yes. And Adele.
Please, yes.
Adele is an attorney in her own right and worked at Caballero.
Yeah.
And then George recently retired, but oh my gosh, his focus for 41 years at University Health was providing access in areas that are underserved. So we thank him so much for that as well.
Absolutely. Who are some of the sponsors? Who are some of the folks that we need to recognize that are really, you know, helping put this thing on and helping you guys raise the funds that you need here at the Madonna Center?
Well, you know, we're reaching out to those that have supported us through the years. You know, we're just to name a few of those that have already committed to support us. You know, we have the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo.
Okay.
We have Port San Antonio. We have Escamilla and Panic Law Firm. They've supported us over the years. We have WellMed Foundation. You know, we're hoping that the Gonzalo Foundation will also come in and support us, like they have in the past. Trying to think of others.
But Pablo Escamilla, he mentioned the law firm.
Sure, I've known Pablo forever.
Yeah, Escamilla and Panic. You know, he came here to the Madonna Center.
Did not know
when
that.
he was, what, in kindergarten?
He was in kindergarten. Yeah, he's very proud of the fact that he was a member of the first graduating kinder class back in 1956, I want to say. And and he was has a picture to prove it. You know, he showed us the picture where his class was graduating from the Madonna Center kindergarten back in 1956.
And talk about paying back. He's a past president of the Madonna Center board.
Wow.
So we thank him for that too.
Well, you brought up one of the sponsors, and I'm going to not quite shift gears, but I think it kind of falls in line with the premise of what you guys do. You talked about Port San Antonio, right down the road, what Jim Birchbach and those guys are doing over there. They're a job-creating entity, and they're creating high-paying jobs in the west side of San Antonio. And I've always thought programs like this set the foundation for education for kids, at least the youth program you guys have, so that as they progress through their school, they have opportunities to work right here in their backyard and make great money in great lines of business. My question is the importance of because you talked about Pablo, the importance of setting that foundation here, the education foundation for the kids.
Yeah, and that's really what we try to do with not try, but actually do with our children, provide them with the support that they need. We have a kinder camp, right? So we start the children early. We have an early Head Start program where children are starting to learn as young as 6-7 months old. There is a national curriculum that the teachers use. It's been well documented that learning begins even in the womb, right?
Sure.
So our children are taught from that very early age to build that foundation, working with and supporting the parents so that they can continue to work. But yeah, that foundation is critical to the children continuing their beginning their education and finishing. And here in the public school systems, we're located in the heart of the Yates School District, so we work with them. We also have an after-school program where we have children that come after school. Their parents, are working, like I said, so they can't pick them up. We pick them up from school, bring them here, we provide them with a supper. We also help them with their homework if they have some, so that when mom, dad come to pick them up, they've already been fed, they've already done their homework. So it's one of the support that we offer the family.
And Liz, as a board member, I'm sure it just, touches your heart to see, one of the basic needs here is nourishment and providing a meal for these kids. Knowing that you're a part of a board and your fellow board members, I'm sure that just tickles you to death knowing that you're making that difference.
Yes, and I can't tell you what satisfaction I get, and I smile every time I come to a board meeting because there are parents here to pick up their children. Madonna Center also provides daycare, and we know how important that is for working families, and to see these dads and moms coming up to pick up their children just gives me the great satisfaction that Madonna Center really is contributing to the whole family.
Yeah, Roger, right quick. I think the Sky Room over at Incarnate Word is probably the most unique venue for an event. It's gorgeous. It's scenic. Let's talk about the event that's coming up. It's going to be at the Rosenberg Sky Room.
Yeah, the event is going to be at Incarnate Word, the Sky Room, like you say, and it is going to be on October the 26th.
Okay.
It's a Saturday. Actually, the first time we have it in that venue, we've been blessed to have had support. So the venue that we used last year, we kind of outgrew it. So now it's going to be at Incarnate Word. So we're hoping that we can gather and recognize that the two couples that we've chosen, the Gomez's and the Hernandez. So we're really excited to look forward to having a successful event. It is our largest fundraiser. It is an opportunity for us to recoup some funds that are needed to continue our services.
And the theme, we got to talk about the theme. It's
Please.
Dia de los Muertos.
Dia de los Muertos, that's right.
And our MC is Michael Quintanilla.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's going to be a very fun event.
That's fantastic. And Liz, these events are great for fundraisers, but it allows you guys an opportunity to showcase what this organization does to the people that are outside the Madonna Center bubble. That's just an important component to these types of events.
It really is. And we usually put together a video
Nice.
that we show during these events that talk about all of the wonderful programs we have.
Fantastic. Roger, how can people get in touch with you guys to...
Well, anybody interested in supporting us, whether it's for the gala or just to come and learn and hear about the Madonna Center, can visit our website at madonnacentersa.org, or they're welcome to call here, and we can set something up for them to come out. The phone number is 210-432-2374. So if anybody's interested in learning more about the center, feel free to call, reach out. I can personally talk to anyone that is interested in learning more about the center. I've been blessed to be involved with the agency for a long time, so it's very near and dear to my heart. And once you get me talking about Madonna, it's very hard for me to stop. So
Yeah, and Liz, your fellow board members, talk about the fellow board members that you serve with and their passion for this organization.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I talked about Dr. Laura
Yes.
Barberena, and she's a local political consultant, but
Yep.
she has devoted so much time and has chaired this gala event for several years. We also have, this woman is not on the board, but she has helped the Madonna Center so much with events. Rachel Diaz.
Wow.
Rachel Diaz
Yes,
Sakai. She is married to our county judge, Peter Sakai.
My mom was her secretary at Terrell Wells Middle School back in the day.
Yes, 'cause
that's the
she-
guy. She was in the
yeah.
Rondell School District.
She
and-
also taught and
Yes,
served
yeah.
in administrative
and
capacities.
You talk about a family that has made a difference, the Sakai family. I mean,
Yes.
I know that you talked about Rachel. I see Judge Sakai and all the great things he's done, both as a district court judge, even before that when he was the youth court judge, and now he's the county judge. But Rachel is the backbone of that family. She really, really is,
Yes.
and he won't argue with me about it.
Oh yeah, and she was also recognized by the San Antonio Women's Hall of Fame. She was inducted about maybe 4 years ago, and her category was volunteerism because of all of the things
for
that she
sure.
has done for the community. So, we have a tremendous president of the board. When you want to talk about him?
Dave Toomey is our current president of the board. He works for a local nonprofit, SRC. They're a government contractor, does a lot of work with government. We also have Michael Boucher. He is a retired city employee, worked at the city, and then also worked at San Antonio Airport in the finance area. You mentioned Dr. Laura Barberena. She is our vice president. And then I mentioned that we had a sister on the board. So Sister Mary Borderland is the secretary of the board.
Wow. Celebrating 85 years, and we're doing it with a bang at your gala. Give me the details one more time for the gala, Roger. If you
Yeah,
can.
the gala is on October the 26th. It starts at 6 o'clock. Anybody interested, again, can get information on our website or simply by calling us here at the agency.
Sure. Liz, any final thoughts? I mean, I personally am so honored to be talking with you. You're one of my
Oh my
heroes.
gosh.
I've been in the media, I've been in radio, I've been, I'm currently doing some TV stuff, but seeing you, and I know this is going to sound cheesy, seeing you do what you do gives other kids, Hispanic kids and kids of color, the opportunity to say, hey, you know what, we can have a career in the media. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I never thought I would be doing this because I got a degree in music education, and I taught at Burbank High School for 4 years before getting sidetracked and going into broadcasting, where I spent 40 years in radio.
You took the Paul Elizondo route, didn't you?
He was my band director at
You're
Edgewood
kidding
Junior
me.
High.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, so long time, the late, great Paul Elizondo was a music guy. He had like the best band ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Great orchestra.
Well, thank you guys so very much for
Thank
taking
you.
the time to join our podcast. Roger, best of luck. Thank you for everything that you do. Liz, keep doing great stuff. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
All
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for CEO Roger Caballero of the Madonna Center and board member and longtime media personality Elizabeth Ruiz, I am Gabe Farias for Jaeger FC. Folks, thank you so much for joining our podcast.
Thank
Thank you.